So Ariel, hey, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but for me, until recent times, when I would try to dive into scripture or read my Bible, I would just open it up and I would just start reading a passage, and it didn't always make a lot of sense.
No. Yeah. Same way. That's kind of how I was taught. Like they would say study, but I was never told like how to study.
Right.
Like,
well,
do I study like school?
We would be in church, and there would be a pastor delivering the message. And if you were like me, it was just like, okay, I'm just going to listen to the pastor, what they have to say, right?
And what they say is liquid gold.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's all I need to know. But to really have a good understanding of scripture and to take it for what it's supposed to mean, you got to do a few different things to really understand it and to digest it.
Yes, I definitely agree.
And so what we want to do is kind of help y'all to understand what those types of tools are.
And how to do it successfully, at least a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know?
And a lot of it too is so that you're not misled by someone, not that people try to mislead you, but scripture is interpreted, right? So definitely by the reader and based off of a few different things that we're about to get into with you. So I use this word called hermeneutics.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah,
it's a mouthful.
It is. It is. You're like, what?
So Ariel, what do you know about hermeneutics?
I know very little about it. It's not as new as I would say, about 3 years ago, maybe even 4. I know it as a form of study, like a study tool on how to read the Bible, and how to kind of get that deep understanding that I need, or try to get a complete understanding of what the scripture is speaking to me.
Absolutely. A lot of the things that are important as you're doing that is you're reading a scripture, don't just read like this particular address. Like you need to kind of read above that and below that to get the context of what the meaning was. You also need to know things like, who is the author of that scripture? What was the historical time in which it was written, so that you know the people that were being spoken to?
What was going on during that time?
Correct. Oh, and keep in mind, so the Bible, while it's one book, right?
Right.
But it consists of 66 books that were compressed into one. And you have the Old Testament that was written in Hebrew.
Right. And the New Testament that's written in Greek.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so through that, as you can imagine, because of the times in which they were written, the words that were used are going to most likely have different meanings than what you know them to be today.
Like the word cool.
Yes.
Okay, so for us, cool can mean many things. Like cool, like I'm cold. Cool, like okay, cool. And then like a cool, just saying like, all right, cool.
Right.
You know, it's like a chill cool. So it has different meanings, and that's kind of how some of the words are in the Bible. Like there has different meanings. So to get that true understanding of what that scripture is saying, we have to know what context that word cool is in the Bible.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's something else. I mean, so applying hermeneutics to really anything. I mean, but for what we're intending it for right now, it's going to be scripture based, and we hope that throughout the digital discipleship journeys, this is something that you'll kind of cling to and start to understand what the importance and the significance is of understanding the content based off the historical perspective, content, the definition of the words, who the authors were, and who the audience was.